The reason why nothing is being done to stop the settler colonization and mass murder of indigenous Palestinian peoples and the extermination of their bloodline, is because the so-called national representatives that make up the United Nations do not have a backbone. Individual civilians are going to the streets in the millions to march in protest so that their voices can be heard by their respective national representatives. Therefore, the ultimate and final decision makers and action takers to solve the problem by getting to its source, is when each and every individual peacemaking representative of their own nation, collectively and forcibly stand against the European U.S. colonial settler state representative who is acting as the Lord, Master and absolute ruler of the UN, and reject the United States veto that favors its operators' historical continuation of mass murder and land theft agenda.
Those against? The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
Otherwise, the true national leaders for peace might as well dissolve the useless United Nations and organize a new platform that's true to its name. Colonialism being the root cause of all world problems will be solved when the majority of members of the UN Security Council, which actually represents the majority of the Earth's populations and victims of colonization and occupation, who desire peace once and for all for future generations to come, must get a backbone. Repeat. United Nations true peace-wanting national representatives. Get a backbone. Give European settler colonizer state operators a taste of their own medicine. Override their fascist rules. Override the colonizers' veto, and take on and assume real responsibility to provide the means for security and protection for humanity against fascist imperialists like the US and Israel operators, and end, once and for all, exploitation and mass murder of the Palestinian peoples, as well as all peoples worldwide.
The United Nations organization is useless. It never helps anyone, any part of humanity in real need. That's because it's colonial. But if we were to look at the United Nations, it would look something like this.
Present United Nations Security Council must make the following binding. 1. Make all members non-permanent members with term limits. 2. Remove any colonial or otherwise rule and/or regulation that show bias, favor, or any type of unfairness, and no member is immune when committing wrongs against others. 3. Decolonization of all respective lands and peoples must be complete as a requirement of being a member. 4. Any rogue state warmonger, crooked, criminal, biased, or colonizing member would be automatically suspended from participation. 5. All members must practice ethics, fairness, honesty, and respect for each and every other member representative of their nation, its people, and their space. 6. Before a member representative can make a decision affecting their nation's people, the decision must come prior from the nation's people for the representative to pass on to the Security Council. Otherwise, the present United Nations Security Council must dismantle, dissolve, and do away with the United Nations as it is known today and form a new age platform of ethics, fairness, honesty, and respect for each and every other nation, its people, and their space, which secures that all lands and peoples are decolonized. No member is immune from committing crime against others. Before decisions affecting respective nations' people, decisions must prior come from the nation's people for the representative to pass on.
Techu Hila Anchimaka. I love you, Mother Earth.